When? When will it all end? The death, the destruction, the senseless fighting between brothers. When will mankind cease his endless rampage against himself? Well, if they won't do anything about it, then I'll make them stop.
Hey guys! Stop fighting! It's not nice!
Shut the fuck up, faggot!
Okay.
Hello Internet, what's going on? I'm Ricardo, the cynical critic, and since the dawn of man, we have been obsessed with both the stars and the gods that occupy them, in the same way that the lower class has been obsessed with the 1%, constantly trying to find ways into sneaking into their domain, and failing that, pretending that our pathetic excuse for a home is a king's castle. However, since it's kinda hard to become a god, because, they don't exist, we instead create things to help us achieve the power of a god. And the first idea we came up with was to create new bodies for ourselves to pilot. Starting from that day that Neanderthal wore that shit-covered saber-tooth pelt, thinking that somehow it granted him its strength, even though he was still a puny pink human in someone else's flesh. Like me on an average Friday night. Well, anyway, anime's got a fetish for everyone, and came up with a show for that called Kimono Friends. But we're not going to be talking about that today. Nope, instead we're going to be looking at one of the granddaddies of all anime, Mobile Suit Gundam. More specifically, Gundam 00, which, no, is not some reference to it being the first Gundam, nor being a prequel to it either. It instead is just another in the long list of Gundam shows, and I'm talking near Fate series level long here, which should come as no surprise as the series began airing way back in 1979 with the original Mobile Suit Gundam show, released by the old anime studio,
Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset.
Now, to be honest, I've never watched a Gundam show before. I know, I should feel ashamed about myself. But I did catch a few episodes here and there when channels like 4Kids and Cartoon Network still aired decent shows. However, my good friend Ryan is a Gundam nut and had a ton of anime that he was willing to give me, likely in a vain hope to convert my sinner ass to the weeb. Good try, but I don't think it's gonna work, Ryan, my boy. However, that's not what was weird. What was weird is when he gave them to me. You see, we were working at the time, and he came up to me and passed me the little baggie full of flash drives, and it looked like a drug deal, I kid you not. Except that you usually don't feel as dirty doing it as I did. Hell, I'd rather be caught dealing hardcore drugs than in the weeb shit he was giving me. I feel like it would have been a lot easier to explain to my parents. Well, anyways, among the numerous shows he gave me, most of them the type I wouldn't be caught dead watching without the door tightly locked and bolted, there were a few Gundam ones, and I asked him which of them I should pop my Gundam Black Cherry with, and he suggested Gundam 00. So that's what we're gonna go over in today's first impressions of my first Gundam show. The story begins with it being the future, of course, where we learn that the world's energy problems have been solved with solar power. Despite the fact that it takes the stupid sun hours to charge my phone, but this is space technology. Literally. Yep, thanks to the help of some space elevators, mankind has lined a solar grid around the world that supplies us with all the energy we need. However, despite this, mankind is still at war with himself. Oh, when will he ever learn? Well, looks like something's gonna teach his ass, as during a test run of a military's new mobile suit, aka the giant-ass robots, it gets interrupted and destroyed by a newcomer floating downward from upon the heavens, shining and smiting the machine of war with its sword of light. I'm sorry, beam saber, but call it whatever you like as long as you don't mind getting a lawsuit from Disney. And apart from getting our first look at the show's first Gundam, we also get the show's first, but certainly not last, annoying character. Yeah, warning to anyone planning on watching this, it's one of those animes that have no shortage of one-dimensional characters, whose sole goal in life seems to be to piss me off with their annoying, overconfident voice. But this is my first Gundam show, and I won't let a few annoyances derail my fun. Though I had a feeling off the bat that they'd quickly mount up. Like this newcomer, who turns out isn't the only Gundam, as he's part of an organization of 4 of these mobile suits whose main goal is to, and I quote, eradicate war. And to quote the Brits, are you taking the piss? Seriously, this is not only our main protagonist, but their main goals as well? To stop all conflicts. Does that include the online kind? Because good frickin' luck with that. 5 minutes on Twitter and you'll be more suicidal than an emo tween fan of Elliott Smith. Why is it the country that started an unnecessary war with the US is always the one making stories about how war is bad, humans are bad, and we just need to come together in love? Maybe it's because we nuked them twice. Anyways, as you might guess, the rest of the leaders of the world aren't exactly down with that and declare this new organization public enemy number 1. Especially after they attack more military bases and kill God knows how many innocent soldiers just doing their jobs. And would you like to know what they call themselves? Celestial Being. And you thought my description of their entrance was a little brash. Nope, that was right on the dot. I mean, why didn't you just call yourselves the saviors of the world? Would have been more to the point. Well, this group turns out was created over 200 years ago by some bald guy who was so intelligent that he knew not only how technology was going to progress, but was able to build a plan, build a team, build highly advanced giant robots, and truly believe that he was going to be able to rid the world of all conflict, all the while keeping this a secret from everyone. And this is all because Smarty McTardy here believes that mankind would eventually destroy himself and must evolve. So he came up with a plan to have a rogue task force, unaccountable to any nation or people, use giant-ass robots to destroy any party engaging in conflict, no matter who it is, or even if it's just soldiers protecting their home, because you're a meanie and you deserve death. Careful, Japan, your governmental oppression is showing. And this group is comprised of 4 special Gundams, outfitted with super solar-powered MacGuffin engines, each with a pilot that clearly failed the psychological testing, supported by a handful of one-dimensional stereotypes that I really can't remember the names of, because despite the show trying its real hardest to characterize them, again, they still end up with less complexity than a bowl of Kix cereal. I mean, they have some girls and boys for some office romance, the inevitable swimsuit episode, not joking, that actually happens, the nerdy old man who does machines, some cargo pilots, and the leader lady whose only characteristic I can reliably remember is that she drank a lot, as that's what the show eventually drove me to. Well, there was also the fact that she had 2 skin-colored watermelons hiding underneath her blouse that somehow she convinced herself that no one else notices, but at least her knockers were more believable than the show's lolly. No joke! One of their super secret supporters is a girl followed around by her boy toy who says that she's underage, but bullshit! Bitch, you'll be rocking more plump than season 69 Nami. Happy thoughts, Ricardo. First Gundam show, look on the bright side, which is kind of a hard thing to do when you take a look at the personalities of the pilot / main protagonists. Again, I could only remember half their names, but I did remember that they're all called Gundam Meisters. Mainly because they never shut up about it, nor about the stupid tin cans that they pilot. And for those wondering, yeah, fun fact, apparently Meister means someone who is skilled in a field. Which I guess means that my friend Ryan is a Gundam Meister. Congratulations, my boy, you did it! Anyways, back with our supposed main characters. There's the guy who flies a golden Starscream, which makes sense given his split personality issue that occasionally almost threatens the safety of the whole operation. The Smarty Pants dude who acts like a robot himself half the time, but is really a softie on the inside if you just get to know him. Kinda like how his fat Gundam with a literal cannon has a beautiful, slender femboy underneath all that hard exterior. Then we have Lock-On Strategy, in which I remembered his nickname because he's a sniper who can lock onto you from beyond the stratosphere. You get it? But also because I wanted to lock-on strangle his stupid bowling ball bot. Okay, on one hand, yes, it is kind of cute, but also extremely annoying. Like how it's cute that your little nephew hops up and down asking for his turn on the PlayStation, all the while you have a subconscious urge to dropkick him from the room. Happy place, Ricardo, happy place. Stay focused. And then there's the leader of the gang. And I remembered his name because he always says it in the same monotone drawl. Setsuna F. Seiya. It's like he's expecting people to scream, "Oh my god, it's him!" But I've never watched a Gundam show before, so I might be missing a few things. And Setsuna F. Seiya might be missing a few things as well, like emotions. Dude does not ever emote unless he's suddenly getting mad for some reason. Like when, after they're done killing even more helpless people, he runs across an old friend in his own mobile suit and nearly flips out. Turns out Setsuna F. Seiya has a dark past, like the rest of the war crimes in waiting, where he was once part of a terrorist group when he was a boy, in which he killed his own parents. Okay, this makes more sense. He was always a psychopathic murderer. Anyways, his old friend, who's got a boner for fighting, isn't the only antagonist. Hell, he's not even the main one. But like I said, this entire show's got like 4 dozen characters, and none of them are characterized enough to be important enough to have not simply been cut from the show entirely. Like how we also follow 2 random college students on and off, who have almost almost no effect on the plot whatsoever. Hell, the only thing I can remember about the two is that he was a pussy, she was horny, his Oni-chan got killed, and her arm got blown off, and that's it! But they're not the only ones whose arc goes nowhere. Like how there's this shadowy Maximilian Pegasus dude who's partly behind both supporting the celestial beings and their downfall, all to shape the world in my image. Dude, a freaking meme shapes the world better than you ever could. Your boy toy is better at shaping the world, and he barely talked. And one I wish would stop talking is about halfway through the season as we are introduced to 3 new Gundams out of fucking nowhere, and each one of them annoys me almost as much as their talking beach ball. In fact, the only reason I can see that they were written into the show was, apart from being a last-minute Deus Ex Machina, was to be the sneering fraternity rivals who keep saying just how much better they are compared to the heroes, even while we know that they're going to get their shit kicked in eventually. In fact, I was waiting for that moment so badly that when they finally do get killed off by the warmonger, it gave me such good pants feelings. I should probably speak to Dr. Fergus about it. Except for the girl who, despite being the second most annoying and horny character in the show, manages to escape thanks to Setsuna F. Seiya. So much for gender equality, eh? Now, up until now, you might be wondering why I haven't touched upon the story. And the reason for that is because there is none. It's just one contrivance and ex machina after another. Greenpeace starts off by attacking any army engaging in conflict, then we get subplot after subplot that don't really go anywhere, manufactured tension to disguise quickly developing our bland characters, and they even tried to have the mains question their ethics. Yeah, that's about like 600 counts of crimes against humanity too late, dudes. And then it all suddenly escalates with the Earth forces getting their own MacGuffin drives from the War Meister and Peg ass sus, and now it's Team Deity that's on the run as the 2 flouncy boys find where the slumbering Baldy is sleeping and kill him. Dude could predict the advancement and destruction of mankind, but didn't think that someone might betray him. Oh wait, he did think about that. He just didn't have any safeguards to protect himself or prevent it from happening. Anyways, Pegasus McGayboy then pulls a Super Gundam out of his loose butt, and he and the understandably pissed off forces of Earth attack the weakened celestial beings. And, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the show, pause and click ahead to the indicated timestamps, but almost everyone dies, possibly including Mr. Setsuna F. Seiya. And while the show might want us to think that in the end, the good guys won, as the countries of Earth now broker a worldwide truce, finally uniting everyone in peace and harmony. Anyone who knows anything about reality knows that that will only last until someone's president calls another a dipshit, and then bam! World War III, baby! But what's most infuriating is the ending of the show, where we see the remnants of Celestial Being building new models of Gundams, called Gundam 00. Are you kidding me? The Gundam, the one that the show is named after, wasn't even in the show to begin with? No, screw that. I don't care if there's still another season, and everything will be answered if only I have faith. I've wasted enough time with this garbage. I'm sorry, Ryan. Really, I am. I wish it didn't turn out like it did, but if any of you are still asking the question, a real possibility, as anime fans aren't exactly burdened by the complexities of daily life. No, I did not enjoy this show at all. While the animation was great and the fights fantastic, the characters were almost completely unlikable in one note. The story was ridiculous and so manufactured it's basically from China, and the underlying message is it's preachy as all Florida combined. While there was an enjoyable moment or two here and there, it's all ruined by the lackluster investment that we have. Hard to feel worried about anything if you just keep asking yourself, okay, this is nice and all, but when are we gonna get to the next Ex Machina? There it is. Figures. Happy coincidences are nice and thrilling, but when it's happening 3 times an episode, I just stop caring, which isn't too hard, as more often than not, whatever happens eventually doesn't matter. So, at the end of the day, I did not enjoy my first Gundam show. Nope, this was not a good first impressions, no ma'am. This was not a good first impressions, Ryan I am. Which brings me to the other question that's on your mind. Is this a bad show? And well, the answer to that is simple too. No, it's Gundam. Most of the stuff that they make is pretty good, except for maybe that chibi Gundam thing. I mean, sweet peas in a pod, what were you thinking? Yeah, this is kind of what puts me over those other reviewers out there, including some nostalgic blinded ones. While I may or may not like a show, I still have a safeguard that prevents me from outright damning it, as I have to ask myself, okay, you didn't like it, but is there a potential fan base big enough that might? And yes, there is. Even if you're just an anime fan in general, let alone a giant mech fan like my friend Ryan, there's a good chance you'll end up enjoying this, even if this story doesn't tantalize your intellectual scrotum. You see, there is just something about the Gundam series that fascinates some people. Maybe it's the giant robots that we all wish we had, or maybe it's the possible future that mankind might find himself in, or maybe it's simply the common longing to journey beyond our world in powerful bodies of steel that each series touches on. Whatever it is, it strikes a core note with many who come across this series. Hell, this past semester I had to take a speech class. I suppose because the school system is still trying to justify their existence, and was told to write a persuasive speech. And long story I don't want to get into short, I did it on why the stigma on anime is both called for and yet not worth missing out on potentially good stories. Anyways, in my research I came across an article that explained that apparently when Gundam first aired, it was considered a failure. However, it wasn't canned because despite not getting as much mainstream fame from the general viewers, those fans it did make were both loyal and engaging. So, not unlike other small starters like Ruby and Wakfu, though it didn't start out strong, well, it kinda did. I mean, all I have to do is look at my friend Ryan. The way he talks about the show and the stories it's created, while I myself really can't get into it as I'm just not that interested, I can't help but smile at someone who's talking about something he loves so much. As for yourselves, all you really need to do is look at the influence that the Gundam brand has had on Japan to see it for yourself. And like it or not, it deserves your respect for what it's accomplished. And one last thing I want to touch on to emphasize this is that in the show, characters are constantly talking about the Gundams as if they're more than simply wire and gear-filled hunks of metal. As if these robots have a sort of spirit, a sort of ghost in their shells. I think that might have been mirroring the Gundam community, where, though true, it might be just shows about giant robots being piloted by whingy anime protagonists, there's also something far more underlining it all. And yeah, while I didn't enjoy this one, doesn't mean I don't like any Gundam show. Back before the dark times of the 2020 quarantine, Ryan came over to my house to hang with a bunch of his anime, and we spent several fun hours watching the first episodes of much of them. Among the shows that were just excuses to have big booby girls, there was this Gundam one where each country has its own gym leader like Gundam, and the main protagonist fights them, destroying the cities in each episode, or what's left of them, all for vengeance, or to prove that he's the best, or whatever. I wasn't really paying attention. But I remember thinking to myself, this is stupid. But the kind of stupid that I wouldn't mind watching early on a Saturday morning with a bowl of cereal and a glass of chocolate milk as I continue to ignore my responsibilities. The kind of show that knows it's kind of dumb, acknowledges that it's kind of dumb, but then doesn't care because it just wants to have fun, mom. So yeah, while I might like that one, as for Gundam 00, I'm sorry Ryan, it seems I haven't been converted yet. But don't give up hope. Maybe one day I'll see the error of my ways and repent. Till then, nope, this Grinch did not like Gundam 00. But what about you guys? Did you see it? Did you think that was good? Or are you a heathen like myself? Tell me in the comments below, along with the numerous ones complaining of what I didn't get about the show. As for next time, let's look back on why I started these excuses for self-abuse and take a look at the more artsy-tartsy side of anime. Which one should I look at next? Violet Evergarden or Land of the Lustrous? Type hashtag first impressions and your choice in the comments. Till next time, I'm Ricardo, the cynical critic. And again, Ryan, I'm sorry. I'm glad you enjoyed it. As for myself, better luck next time. As for the rest of you, y'all take care. And remember, while your first impressions may be good or bad, you won't know until you give it a view. I'll see you guys next time. Toodles!